Closed captioning for the Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today we check in with Jimmy Sutman and get a progress report on GABA Camp. But first, Ken and I prepare an easy and romantic Valentine dinner. Lobster risotto, arugula salad, and some bubbles.
You better come on in my kitchen.
Well, look who the cat dragged in. My husband, Ken, is going to join me today in the kitchen, and we're going to make a very special Valentine dinner. But this is the first time Ken has been on camera with me.
That is
in the new kitchen.
In quite a while.
It has
in the new
been.
kitchen, in our kitchen.
In our kitchen, and
Yes.
It was quite an ordeal. It was 2 months, very, very stressful, and a lot of negotiations. You know, he wanted this wall back here out, in addition to this wall, and I
wanted lots of things.
The
We had
house
about 16 different plans, I think. I'm not sure. And then I think we circled back on a few, like a few resurfaced and then went back and forth. Who knows?
Yes.
I can't count that high.
It was
How many times we
finally
changed the
agreed upon. We're happy with what happened. I know you lost your one bar, but you did gain another
I know
bar.
I had a really cool bar over there that was behind that wall. And what I found out real quick was that my bar was not as popular as your kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, some people had fun there.
What's more important?
You know who you
the
are.
The kitchen, the food, the center of the home.
Right,
But
so-
I'm glad that we're still together.
And so that brings me to a theory that I have.
Yes.
And then I'll be presenting it to the new bishop. Okay. And it's the pre-Cana theory. You know, pre-Cana. Explain pre-Cana.
Pre-Cana is like when Catholics are to marry, you have to go to a class or classes and prepare.
And they see if
For
you're
matrimony.
compatible
They see if
and
you're
know how you
compatible.
balance a checkbook or all those
budgets,
fun stuff.
and they check your likes and dislikes,
You know.
and they just want to ensure
Right, so-
that you get together.
So my advice now, I think what would be a good exercise for pre-Cana would be if a young couple goes to see the parish priest and says, "Hey, we want to get married," you know, and they do the pre-Cana, and he goes, "Well, here's a chunk of money. You go down the street to Miss McGillicuddy's house and remodel her kitchen, and see if you stay together when you're done. And if you do, you can get married." Okay. And I think it would be a good exercise.
But I'm going to make for you because
It's a special
adore
day,
you.
and I'm a special person.
And you're a special guy.
I
I'm
remember
going
when
to
you used to adore me.
I do adore you.
Okay.
We're going to make a very special dish. I'm going to make lobster risotto and a really great salad. It's got arugula.
Yeah, I love your salads.
And romaine with cranberries. So let's go over the ingredient list. I'm going to put Ken to work, and we are going to make this great dinner, which I suggest for Valentine's Day. For this recipe, you'll need 1 lobster tail thawed, 4 cups of chicken stock, 1 cup of water, 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 1 medium onion chopped fine, 1 shallot chopped fine, 1.5 cups arborio rice, 1/2 cup of dry white wine, 1/2 cup of grated Reggiano Parmesan cheese, 1/2 cup of chopped fresh parsley, 1 lemon halved and deseeded, and salt and pepper to taste. All right, before we get started, do you remember my little trick to make the risotto cooking go quickly? What I'm going to do is put this in a strainer over the pot. That is the arborio rice. And then to get the starch into the water, I pour the chicken stock and 1 cup of water through the rice. All right. Then I'm just going to set the rice over there, and I'm going to turn on the stove, and I'm going to start heating this broth, because to get that lobster flavor, instead of doing a seafood stock or something like that, I'm going to boil the lobster tail in this chicken stock for about 8 minutes once it comes to a boil. And then that will impart the lobster flavor and the shells in that into the stock before we start making the rice. The water has come to a boil. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, and we are gonna drop this lobster, and it'll take about 8 minutes for it to turn red and the skin will be an opaque white. Well, this lobster tail has curled nicely. See, it's nice and red, and look at how nice and white the meat is. So I'm just gonna put this on a cutting board and I'm gonna let it cool. And now we're gonna be using this broth, and Ken, I'm putting you to work.
That's for me.
Yep, I'm putting you to work.
All right.
So what I'm gonna do is transfer.
I'm gonna put that over here.
Yeah, because that'll be easier for you to start ladling when it is time. So you don't want it to bring it to a boil. Now you just want it to simmer. And
so now I'm doing the onions.
You are doing the onions and the shallot. And you're going to about 2 or 3 minutes until they just soften up a little bit. Can I help you, sir?
Okay. Both.
All right, add the shallots too, please. And look how cute these are. Jelaine, my mom got me these for St. Patrick's Day, for St. Valentine's Day.
How timely.
I know, how cute they are. We'll be right back to finish up our Valentine dinner. I'm all about local, and my bank is Farmers National Bank. Farmers is the true hometown bank in the Mahoney Valley, standing strong for our local families and businesses since 1887. Farmers is also future-focused with a lab branch, interactive teller machines, and best-in-class mobile mortgage app. We've all learned the value of local relationships, businesses, and communities. Switch to Farmers.
Kamara Jewelers is the place to buy an engagement ring because we want a relationship with you that lasts a lifetime. Your commitment with her is the same commitment we have to you.
We want to sit down with you and teach you about diamonds so you're educated on what you're buying. We have the largest selection we ever have, which is the largest in the area, and at the best value. And if it's not something in our case, we could always custom make it. We can make any dream come true.
Get real, get Kamara.
Rulli Brothers has a great choice of quality cheeses. We use our relationship with Old Road Houses to specially select the product and then have it custom cut and packaged by our own local artisans. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available. Given is living. Join the Isle and Purple Cat family. Employment opportunities are available at $13 an hour. Given is living.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. And when someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, that's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
I'm Elizabeth Bernard, For more than 30 years, I've provided our Valley with sound legal advice. My associate Jennifer Rigetti and I will be your legal representatives if you're involved in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident. Don't try to handle it yourself. We'll navigate the red tape of dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the obstacles that you'll face. Remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases, and hiring a lawyer does not mean you have to go to court.
Call attorney Elizabeth Bernard, local legal experience for more than 30 years.
Family-owned Mayflower Woolham Insurance Group is your full-service independent agency. Our family works with a variety of insurance companies, so you have the best choices for your insurance needs. Let us find the right product at the right price. Personal lines, business, farm, commercial insurance, life insurance. Trust locally owned Mayflower Woolham. You focus on what's important.
We'll take care of the details.
Mayflower Woolham, close by with 3 locations to serve you.
What's next, boss?
Well, that looks nice. They're sweated out. Let's add the rice.
Add the rice.
And make sure it gets well coated with all that butter and onion and
there you go.
Shallot. Thank you, sir.
Well coated.
Yes.
I will coat your rice. How's that? Getting there? How long?
Oh, about a minute, minute and a half. Just make sure everything's coated. Boy, you're fancy. All right, that looks good. Now, it's over medium-high heat. Add the wine until it evaporates. Keep stirring it.
Okay. There's a little sizzle for you.
All right, now 1 ladle at a time. Keep adding the stock and stirring it until it is all absorbed. Yeah, that looks really good.
Do you want to taste it?
Not yet. We have the final adding of the broth.
The rest of the broth?
There we go. So
down the hole.
Fix that, get it all absorbed.
That is looking pretty good.
That is perfect. All the liquid has been absorbed.
Yep.
And you want to take
Is it time to taste?
I think it is.
All right.
It should be a little to the tooth.
I'm going to cook that spoon.
Okay.
That's delicious.
Do you think it needs any more salt and pepper?
I don't think so. I think you could do that at the table.
Okay. Well, let's turn this off.
Okay.
We're going to add the butter, the final pat of butter, 1 tablespoon. Okay. We're going to add the Parmesan cheese.
Gotcha.
And, oh, that's
careful,
good stuff.
Careful.
Mix that up.
Careful.
And then we're going to add half of the parsley.
Half of the parsley.
Just half.
Done.
There you go.
Mix this up.
Mix that all together. Oh, look at that.
That makes a difference.
Hey, look at that.
Look at that.
Oh my
there
gosh.
You go. Is that to your liking?
It looks absolutely delicious, Ken.
Lobster.
Lobster. So what I do is to get this puppy out, it's cooled nicely, and I just use kitchen shears and cut down the back, and I grip it and cut down the front. And then,
boom.
Voila, whoa, a little bit of a
That
mess.
lobster's still alive.
Yeah, and then it just comes right out of the dish. And we will scatter this over the risotto. Isn't that beautiful? And then we finish it with the parsley.
More parsley.
I love parsley. Parsley is awesome. And last but not least, lemon. And just squeeze a whole lemon over the top.
Oh, beautiful.
For an extra fresh taste. Well, this is gorgeous. It looks good enough to eat.
Looks beautiful.
Salad next. For this recipe, you'll need 1 head of romaine heart lettuce washed and torn, 1 bunch of arugula lettuce washed and torn, 1/3 cup of dried cranberries, 3 green onions washed and finely chopped, white and green parts, 1/4 cup of toasted sliced almonds, and 1/2 cup of crumbled feta cheese. So I have a head of the romaine and some arugula. I'm just going to take that and mix it together. So you get a little bite of each with every serving, all right? So now we've mixed those together. Now let's mix the dressing. We have the olive oil. That is 1/4 cup with 1/8 cup of balsamic, juice of 1/2 lemon for your acid. And then, oop, that goes in the sink. Just a little bit of salt and pepper, and we just mix it up. I mean, is that an easy dressing or what? So now we add the onion, which gives it a nice bite. Then we are going to add, how I love dried cranberries. So just evenly distribute them. And then we're going to add the feta. Parmesan works well too. Whatever cheese you like, or if you are dairy-free, you can forget this step. And then the toasted almonds, because everything needs a little crunch, in my opinion. And then what we're gonna do is make sure it's nice and mixed together. And that looks good. And we just drizzle it over the salad. You having a little trouble there?
No. How about some Schramsberg?
Schramsberg.
Yeah.
Really?
It's a special day. You made me a nice little
Well, that's nice.
dinner here. Got to take care of number 1.
Wow, Schramsberg, you know.
Yeah, why not?
That is where we went on our honeymoon.
Back when you used to adore me.
I still adore you, but I must say, Schramsberg is good. We stayed in Calistoga, took a mud bath.
Right,
and
that was
then
fun.
Went on a wine tour, and the guy was from Cleveland.
Everybody had their own mud bath. It wasn't like a group bath or anything.
No,
Thank goodness.
we thought it was a couples thing. It wasn't. Cheers. Delicious. I love it.
I can drink that all day.
Oh, well, we're going to.
Okay.
It's an early, let's see how we did.
Yeah, it looks good.
It's perfect. Honestly, it is perfect. It's delicious.
Wow.
The salad, it all works together.
It's really simple.
It is.
The lemon is fantastic with the parsley and the lobster. I love doing lobster on the grill when I spice it up with jerk seasoning and all that stuff, but this is such a simple
It really is. And you saw how
way to do
quickly it came together. And, put him to work. Have him stir while you prepare everything else. Go to my website, caseymaloneshow.com. Both of these recipes will be available, and I hope you try them out for Valentine's Day.
Cheers.
Or any night. Cheers, honey.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. I appreciate it. The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavors. I am here with Rude the Dude at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery. What is happening?
Nothing. We just finished off last year strong with all of our parties in the banquet room. So we're starting already to book parties this spring in the banquet room also. We got a couple things we're working on for outside in the parking lot, a couple different big events that we'd like to put on this year for everybody. So we're starting the year out strong and starting to get ready.
Oh, looking forward to spring. And don't forget, you're looking for those local beers? They are right here on tap at the Magic Tree. And I gotta tell you, this Nitro Brew coffee is made right here.
Yeah,
I
we
love
make
it.
this in-house with our roasted beans from the Youngstown Coffee Company. So we support local coffee, beer, and food.
Oh man, always something happening right here. Go to their website, magictreepubandeatery.com, and find out more.
The 44th Annual Mahoney Valley St. Patrick's Day Parade is Sunday, March 13th. Enter your group, organization, or marching band at mvstpatrickparade.com.
My basement was dreadful. Cracked concrete, chipped tiles, it was my dumping ground. Carpet, vinyl, wood don't last. Now I have Pebblestone, the best basement floor covering. It has transformed my basement and expanded my family's living space. It's easy to clean, withstands flooding, and will never need replaced. You will love your basement. Pebblestone, the best flooring system.
Call today to save 60% off your new Pebblestone floor for a limited time only.
Rulli Brothers is way ahead of the competition. Check out Rulli Spice World, where you can buy bulk herbs and spices, plus candies, nuts, and fillings for pennies on the dollar. At Rulli Brothers Market, our family is in the store.
Is it time to update your color style? RNS Paint will assist you with your choice of over 3,400 Benjamin Moore colors. Vibrant, durable, and easy to apply. Be current, be stylish. Shop RNS Paint.
Hi, Jimmy Sutman here. I'm the director of 3 important agencies, 3 of my favorite agencies. First of all, Purple Cat. It's a day program for adults with disabilities where we pay our adults to work with animals, at restaurants, all different types of things. We have a radio station. I also represent ISLE, which is the acronym for Iron and String Life Enhancement, which provides residential opportunities for adults with disabilities. And finally, Golden String Inc., our 501c3 that is going to be leading the charge with GABA Camp, a camp for adults with disabilities. And here I am at this wonderful facility, Farmer Casey's Ranch, which represents all 3.
Well, I am a big fan of Jimmy Sutman's and a big fan of Purple Cat and Golden String and all the wonderful opportunities that they provide. And now I'm excited for the next chapter, which is GABA Camp. And Jimmy, this is such a great idea. They're going to actually have a campgrounds with cabins and a lodge. I mean, there's 55 acres out here that are going unused, and you're gonna make sure that everything is accessible for all your clients.
Yeah, we've been blessed. We have a great start on that. We have a path that's a half-mile path that goes all the way around our 7-acre lake here. We have a bridge from a highway. It used to be on a highway over in Massillon, Ohio, that connects one side to the other and allowed us not to disturb valued wetlands. So our folks with wheelchairs can get all the way around the lake. And it really connects us to where GABA Camp is going to be built, to put pathways through the woods, but yet keep the woods. I mean, we're not cutting down trees, we want it to be woods. We know that there's some expense there, but really, how do you put a price on that? It's literally priceless. You know, if you are a person that is confined to a wheelchair, you know, getting into the woods safely, you know, being able to navigate independently too. You know, i.e. when they go to the restrooms, be able to open the doors with just a push button. When we go swimming, that there's several different types of lifts, 0 entry to get into a swimming pool, you know, big wide doorways in certain cases. I mean, there's a lot of things that you have to pay attention to. So really, you know, we're at that stage. We are soliciting funds, you know, we are writing grants, we are having fundraisers, and you know, we're trying to get some more money to keep that going. But as I said, we're not in our infancy. You know, we've already spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on this. You know, we are trying to solicit funds to sponsor cabins, you know, these wonderful cabins that you're showing. And there's one other thing that really was the thrust for me personally for wanting to build GABA Camp, and that is staffing. If you're an adult with disabilities and you want to go to Florida or you want to go to Camp Fitch, how do you get a caregiver to go with you? Not only do you have to pay for their ticket and all of their trip most of the time, but finding people in this day and age to go is very, very difficult. You know, I can envision us flying people in from all over, picking them up in a Golden String or a Purple Cat van at the Pittsburgh airport, bringing them here, you know, staffing them, and then on the flip side, you know, taking them back to the airport and making sure they safely get on an airplane and go home to wherever they're from. That could be something that the individual with a disability looks forward to all year long, because they'll get to see the same folks, hopefully, and then make the friends that we all make when we went to camp. That camaraderie, you know, that relationship building. I really don't know of any other way to do it. You have to physically get people together. It doesn't exist, you know, on Zoom and in the airwaves of the internet. It exists on a very
personal level.
Yeah.
You know,
we
face-to-face.
need it to be more personal. That's the word.
We need the funds to make this happen, and we've already had a lot of generous donors, but we need more. The plans are for a lodge, the zero entry pool, the different cabins, and then equine therapy. We're looking at horses, and you know, really making this a true immersive experience into this gorgeous, bucolic atmosphere. So all you have to do is contact Jimmy. We'll have all that information here, and find out how you can participate and how you can be generous to this wonderful camp.
As we're developing here, I'm getting more and more excited, and I'm seeing the passion on my adults with disabilities faces. You know, they're really excited about it, Casey.
Really. So reach out. Honestly, this is a worthwhile venture. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.